This is Mo Mackey, and you are watching another episode of Studio Time. Today, we're going to talk about a producing plugin, or shall I say VST, that I love to use from Output called Arcade. Let's get into it. All right. So a cool thing that Arcade has done lately, which is why I started subscribing and using Arcade a lot, is one, they allowed you to use your own samples. That actually happened a little while ago. They got an ARP machine in there now, so you can, do a lot of cool stuff with ARPs. And you can play your own sounds, because before Arcade had prepackaged samples. Like they would load a bunch of things onto the keys of your MIDI device, and you just hit the button and it would play an arrangement or whatnot, and you could tweak it and change it and stuff, but you couldn't actually play your own, you couldn't play your own tune or whatnot. And now you could do all of that good stuff. So the main thing I wanted to talk about today was actually sampling in Arcade. So let's get straight into it. So here is the page, what it looks like here. We're on their lines, which is all the different things that you can bring up. But what we want to go to is your stuff, and you would go to imported samples here, and then you could just bring your samples in here, and I'll do that now. I'll go to, for this one, I'll just go to OVO's pack that was in here and just bring a whole sample in here rather than, just drums and stuff. I want you all to see what all this thing can do. So I'm going to drag it in, it analyzes it, then it brings it up here. Now, if I play it, you'll hear the original sample. But if I click this little button over here, the generate a kit, it makes a whole kit for me. So I'll press the button, let it do its thing. It's slicing up the audio. And now I got a bunch of different options that I can choose from. Sand and grit and spatial expanse. We'll just leave it here on vintage texture. All right, so as I play the keys, you'll see what it's done to that sample. So there's a bunch of different nice chops in here that you could use to make all kinds of cool stuff with. Now, and that's, you don't only have the FX presets, but you also have sample slicing. So each one of these will chop it up different. Let's go to chops and see what that does. And then, of course, these keys up here, you see the yellow ones. Well, let me show you with the arrow. These yellow ones up here will do different chops and things, and so are the red and so are the blues. And I'll show you with this chop right here, which each one of them does. So that kind of brings it back. That one, same thing, just a different kind of style. Kind of a different like stutter effects. That totally like morphs the hell out of it. And of course, all of these could be used in different styles to switch it up, make it a little bit different on the sample. But anyway, you got the shift, stretch, you got all these different kind of ways to mess with the sample. And pretty much what it's doing, right, is it's changing your gated, your warped, your speaker and clipped presets. You know, you can slide them however you want them, but these are just you know, different presets you can try. You can even cut those off. You can even change the scale of how they're chopped. You know, so say for instance you don't want them in that key. Maybe you want them in D major. So you click on D major. You know, but if you want to overall change the scale on everything, then you can click over here to this button and change the scale for each one of these keys. And then you can also change the pitch as well, which is really cool. But it's just a really cool way to chop samples I wanted to share with you guys. So if you already have Arcade and you didn't know that they did all these updates, it's a cool thing to check out. A different way to go about chopping samples, you know, using algorithms to make cool different slices for you rather than you doing it yourself. I know it's kind of lazy, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people like to put in the work, but if you don't got time to put in that work, you know, you got a bunch of different projects and you need this stuff done quickly, and this is a good way to do that. Hope y'all learned something today. This is MOMAKKI. If you watched another episode of Studio Time, I will catch you on the next one.